Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to have you as part of the Broom program and talking to our viewers about Chongo's Market. So, Jason, you're the owner of Chongo's and you
Yeah,
supply wholesale and retail fruits and vegetables to the Calgary market, correct?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah. And you do both online for click and collect as well as home delivery. And of course, people can come into the store and shop right in the store.
right. Yeah, the business has been around since 1986 and in a retail format, mostly with regards to what would be referred to as a public market. Public markets are similar to a farmer's market, but that we have also vendors that don't necessarily create their own items. They're reselling and retailing their items. So we've been around since 1986. As of late, you mentioned a couple of things that Chongos is doing to kind of keep up with the times. We have offered a curbside pickup. We're offering online ordering, so you can go to chongosmarket.com. And that even includes all of our promotions as well. They're available on chongosmarket.com for the things that Boom members have exclusive access to. They can still apply those codes. In fact, we encourage people to apply their codes online to use those, and you have the full complement of everything we have in the store as a Boom Group member, but the added benefits of the promotions, of course. So that was all done in response to the COVID 19, and we had to reinvent ourselves a little bit, get ourselves into a format that people can uh, shop comfortably and go from there. So,
Comfortably and safely, thank you. And
yes,
I actually used your online purchasing, and it's been so convenient and easy. So,
sure.
just tell me though, from my experience, which was extremely positive, I know the answer to this, but from your perspective, why Chongos? Why would I go to Chongos over the supermarket down the road, for example?
Yeah, we're hoping that people choose Chongos as opposed to any other traditional grocer, so that we're adding value. We add value in the following way. It's primarily in our logistics chain. Our logistics chain is much shorter. That's important for produce simply because we want to have our customers have the most amount of time possible with the produce. So if you're buying romaine from us, it should last longer than if you're buying romaine from somewhere else. Oftentimes, best laid plans for meals get interrupted. People go out to eat and they think, oh, yeah, but we wanted to use that romaine tonight for that Caesar salad. Well, we're not going to have it tomorrow if we don't use it. That's not the case when you're dealing with Chongo's produce. We do have a little bit longer life, just simply because we've gone direct to source on many items. They do not go to a warehouse; they just come directly to our store. Oftentimes, we're doing that directly from the farm the day before into us the next day. And so, for instance, for items out of British Columbia, we're doing next day. We own our own trucks. We load at the farms for ourselves, so we know that logistics chain. We control it from basically from farm to fork.
How wonderful. Thank you, Jason. And you're right, the
Yeah,
produce is incredibly fresh and carefully selected too. So, one of the things that you and I talked about previous to this interview was when you're ordering online, it can be, if well, for me, a bit of a challenge to understand quantity, weights, etc. So, when people are doing click and collect, what kind of advice do you have for people ordering fresh fruit and vegetables online?
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's one of the challenges that we found in introducing this medium and availability for shoppers is to really pay attention to the description on the product, and sometimes it can be confusing. We're still in the infancy stage of getting this going. We've been doing it for about 4 months, but my recommendation to a prospective online user would be to pay attention to the item description. So for example, we sell bananas by the pound in the store, but it's really tough to get to that pound measurement that somebody online would want. And do you want us to go up or down, or how should that go? So instead, we sell bananas by the bunch, for instance. So if you looked at the description, it would say bananas bracket bunch. If we were selling the item by pound, it'll say LB, or if we're selling it by each, it'll say EA for each. So that would be one of the main things to look for in terms of getting the right quantity. We've had examples where people want 2 jalapenos but they order 2 pounds of jalapeno. And you're like, well, I'm not sure if that customer really wanted the 2 pounds of jalapenos or not. So we do make an effort to contact the customers as well, just to make sure when there are odd items like that, just to make sure that people get what in fact they want.
That's wonderful that you reach out to them afterwards. Good for
Hmm.
you. And, you
Yeah,
know, I think it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
it does.
Because I might have been the one with the jalapeno error. So tell me, what are some of the things that Boom members and your customers as a whole are finding are fresh and in season right now? And I know there's, you know, you can wheel us around a bit if you need to, but let's talk about some
Yeah,
of the things
yeah.
people can find fresh today.
Yeah, so we're in canning season right now. So there's peaches, there's nectarines, there's salsa. People are making their salsa. They're making their tomato sauces. I'm over here. I'm going to pick up something that I find quite unique and really, really nice. Here, you're looking at heirloom tomatoes. These are tomatoes that are old seed tomatoes, hence the word heirloom. And what you have on something like this is a flavor that you're really, you would have recognized from long time ago before people started manipulating seeds and this type of thing. These are old school tomatoes, the way you would think tomatoes should taste way back when. So they're great for salsas, great for sauces. And then we've also got all other local items like these 1 pound baby carrots. These are the carrots that are like your grandmother made in her garden. And so we get these. It's not like the wood that you get from some California carrots in the off season. These are packed with flavor, super convenient for lunches, for kids. And actually, as far as vegetables go, carrots and kids, these ones actually match because they have a sweetness to them that kids tend to like. So, yeah, I'm trying to see if we can get to some cherries. And I just passed berries. I should have talked about berries, but we've got cherries in season only for another couple weeks. And some of the things that, can I just talk maybe a little bit about cherries specifically? So cherries at Chongo's are, we try to make ourselves unique from other grocers as well. What we've got is a larger size cherry, and I had a small and a large cherry. This would be a great example to give, but we offer our customers a larger size cherry. Generally, the price per pound is higher than the smaller cherries, but that's because the pit inside the same variety of cherry will be roughly the same size. So when you're buying a more expensive cherry from Chongo's, you're actually buying an exponential amount more of flesh, edible fruit, than you would be if you're buying a smaller cherry. So our customers get to know our cherries, get to know we carry 25 different varieties between yellow cherries and red cherries throughout the year, and especially in the summer. So um, we're known for our cherries, and we differentiate ourselves that way.
Well, I know that we ordered some cherries last week and have some, and they have actually, there's maybe 3 or 4 left. They just went so fast. They were absolutely delicious. And you're correct, there was a ton of flesh on the cherries in comparison to some of the past varieties that I've tried.
Hmm.
What about anything else that's in season currently that our viewers might be interested in?
Yeah, so the other thing that people like to do is they come in and buy berries in bulk and get them into a frozen format for the winter. So we've got blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. We're gapping right now this week on raspberries, meaning summer raspberries have already ended and fall raspberries are about 10 days away. So we make sure that we have that clear gap between the two varieties because they're different entirely. So, but yeah, I mean, some berries, some blueberries, good size, good flavor, great for putting in storage for the winter. I've heard from some of my customers that what they like to do, in fact, is take the blueberries, put them on a cookie sheet, let them sit on a cookie sheet, put those in the freezer like that. The berry will freeze individually, and then they bag them once they're frozen, as opposed to just putting them in the bag all together, and then you end up with clumps of berries, and it's not nearly as enjoyable come January putting those on your cereal or making your pancakes or whatever else, your smoothies, that kind of thing. So people do that on all of our berries, and yeah, those are obviously in season now.
So tell me about potatoes. Potatoes are one of my most favorite vegetables.
Yes.
But I'm always confused about when do they come, when are they freshest? Because I know they store quite well and quite
Yes.
long.
Yes.
Do you have any potatoes at this point, or what point, where are we
Sure
with?
do. Yeah, I can go. So right now, we have new red potatoes. You can see the display here. You'll notice on a new red potato that the skin has not set. It hasn't set yet, but yet they're perfectly ready to eat. And in fact, they're the most tender. They're melt in your mouth kind of potatoes when they're at this stage. Right now, we're beginning of August. This is the first week that I've had new red potatoes. So one of the things that you'll notice is the sizing in is not really that large yet. They're more of a potatoes come in three sizes: A's, B's, and C's. The C's are the small nuggets, and the A's are the largest. They all come from the same patch. They're all grown at the same time, and generally you get more value from the larger size potatoes. So
Where do those potatoes come from?
these are from Bassano.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah, Bassano, Alberta. Yeah.
Alberta, that's great. And so do you try and source locally like that quite often?
Absolutely. So our motto here is we'll source as local as possible as long as quality dictates. So I'm not the guy that I'm the first to the party, nor am I the lingering last guy either. I will make sure that I'm not buying the first ones generally because they're not generally mature enough. They shouldn't be sold. People are jumping, they're trying to get ahead of the game by offering that first one. Oftentimes you can leave a sour taste in the mouths of our consumers, and you really don't want to do that because from my experience, we've wrecked sales subsequent to that because we were premature in bringing in a product. At the same time, if we run too long with, say, a leafy green out of British Columbia, when the season is still going, they still have the product. It's harder to grow romaine at the end of September than it is in July and August. So we tend to stop just prior to quality problems happen, and then of course that means that we'll have to go to farther away sources.
So you're open year round, are you? Is Chongo's open year round?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're open year round. Sometimes people think that means we're open every day. We're not. We are open every week, the same days, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And you can do the online and or go in store Friday, Saturday, Sunday throughout the week. Or each week, I should say.
You're not there anymore. I don't know that.
There we go.
Oh,
So
sorry. Sorry, you just cut out. There we go.
That's okay. I can purchase online or in store Friday, Saturday, Sunday through the winter, etc. as well.
Yeah, again, we haven't started we started rather the online business during COVID, which was March, April. So this winter, that will be our intent. Recently, we've made a change from going 7 days a week back to 4 days because we hadn't seen the demand for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. So rather than try and accommodate something like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just in terms of having product availability and freshness, we've decided let's cut it back to what we know how to do very well, which is the Thursday through Sunday, and we'll have the online ordering for curbside and delivery throughout those days, as well as in store.
And that's great. Thank you. So just a quick question on that to clarify. Can I order online on Monday and pick up Monday, or do I have to wait until the...
Yeah, you'll be able to order on Monday, but you'll have to wait until Thursday to be able to pick it up. Yeah, and the other thing I'd mention is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we want to make sure that when we have our items online, that the availability will actually be there. So Monday is a transition day from the weekend before, Sunday being the last day of the week for us. So on Mondays, not all products are available. So my recommendation is to wait until Tuesday, for instance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any herbs?
Yes, we have herbs.
Look at herbs.
Yeah, and our herbs are from a local grower here in Strathmore, Chan's Agribusiness. They grow, I don't know where our herbs are. I have some here. I have mint and dill, but we also carry really unique things like edible flowers. Um, but they do a great job on fresh mint. They have mojito mint, kind of unique ones as well. Like mojito mint is pretty unique. And then all your traditional ones: thyme, English thyme, uh,
Basil.
rosemary, basil, lots of basil. Yeah. We also use another supplier out of Lyelta for our basil as well.
I got a little
Lyelta,
plant,
Alberta.
a basil
Yeah,
plant.
yeah, that would be from Chan's Agribusiness in Strathmore.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay. So, what are some of the most popular items you're finding that are in the Chongos these days? So, obviously the fresh stuff, but overall, what are your hot items?
Yeah, in 2012, we branched out of just having fresh produce and we went into some value add items. The value add items I'm referring to are like salsas and bruschetta and guacamole. And there's just some customers at our display at this very moment. So I'm gonna just sneak past them and see if I can get over to here. These, all of these salsas and guacs are really what we've become well known for. It's one of those items that you can only find here at Chongo's. So you're going to come back to us specifically. We did that so that in the winter there's more reason for us to exist, not just offering apples that are storage apples, potatoes and carrots that are storage. Still local, still great items, but others are offering that as well. So here we have some of our own creations, like our mango salsa, which has been very popular, as well as our guacamole, which is also very popular as well. People that don't like guacamole tend to like our guacamole.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is. It is. Yeah, and so the other thing that's kind of unique about what we're doing here is it was all born out of the idea of eliminating food waste and trying to capture some of that shrinkage from produce that we would otherwise throw out or deeply discount. We still have plenty of that. We still do lots of work with the community by donating to places like the YWCA just over here, or the food bank and that thing, things of that nature. But this is another way of repurposing some of the stuff that we get in here. So
Wonderful. Wonderful.
yeah,
Thank you. We are in the peak of summer, I'd say, right at this point, right in the
yes,
middle. But we
yes.
are going to be approaching our next season pretty soon, which will be autumn. I'm just curious, what are some of the great sellers for Chongo's popular items for the autumn?
Yeah, for autumn, popular things that become available are things like squashes. That's the first thing that comes to mind. People get that little bit of a chill from the fall, and they want to have that warm, hearty foods. You're talking root vegetables, you're talking squash, things of that nature that kind of warm the soul, warm the body, right? So those are the things that become available that are really great. And also it's the beginning of the really popular apple varieties as well. Honeycrisp apples start at the end of September. They run right through until January, February, and we're starting experimenting with storing them even longer than that. But Honeycrisp apples are available then. All of our winter variety apples start September, October. So Galas, Ambrosia, really great apples. We in the winter, one of the things that Chongos is known for is our apple variety. So if you're an apple lover, we're definitely the place for you. We generally have around 11 varieties of apples, whereas a traditional grocer might have 4 or 5, maybe 6 maximum. We have quite a few.
Gala. I'm a gala girl.
Mm, Galas are lovely. Yes,
They're so good.
yes.
So now that we're looking at things changing, can you just highlight for me what are some of the things that Chongos has done that really enables you to ensure your staff and your customers are staying safe?
Right. Yeah. Right now, with COVID being of primary concern, the health and safety of both my employees and the customers takes paramount importance. And we don't just say that; we actually do things to make sure. So we've got plexiglass. We were one of the first people that had plexiglass that would create a barrier between our customers and our cashiers. We were also taking every basket that somebody uses, once somebody's touched it, We feel that's a point of contact. We go and make sure we have a bleach solution to go over the handles of that. We do require, well, now everybody is doing this, but we have required people wearing masks, or at least our staff members have been doing that for quite some time. Of course, there's a Calgary bylaw saying that we all need to now. I'm doing this now without a mask just because there's nobody around, so, or at least very few people.
Same with me.
Yeah, yeah. So, but otherwise, we take that very seriously indeed. Yes.
Good. Okay. Now, is there anything else that you'd want to tell us about Chongos?
Well, actually, I wanted to go back to touch on apples for a minute, and I can't remember exactly what my point was going to be. But as you were talking, I was like, oh, I want to interrupt you and talk about apples. Oh, yes, this is what I wanted to say about apples. Some of what we try and do as well is educate the people that are on the floor here at Chongo so that we can ascertain what it is you might like. So you just mentioned that you like galas. I'm pretty sure that galas in your mind are your favorite apple, and you just said that, so that's great. But I think if I were to ask you some characteristics of an apple that you like, I think I would probably come up with an even better apple than you yourself would pick. So for instance, if I said, do you like a soft apple or a crispy apple? You would say crispy, right? So I can tell just from the profile of what you said about a gala, I could recommend 3 other apples that you will like infinitely more than a gala. And in fact, the only thing that I'd be doing possibly is disappointing you, because galas, your once favorite apple, will fall down the ladder of choice immensely. So, but it's a good thing because it opens people's perspectives to different things, and it's one of the things that makes us semi unique as well, as opposed to just anyone else. We have an apple called a sugar bee apple. It's not local. It's from Washington State, but it is fantastic, and I would guarantee that you would like that apple more than a gala.
I'm writing it down. Sugar bee.
Sugar bee.
Sugar.
Yeah, crispy, sweet, really, yeah, just a really, really good apple. I love it. I absolutely love it.
On my list.
In fact, one of the things that I would say as well is when I bought this business in 2007, I thought I didn't like apples. And I thought that because I don't like Gala. I don't like Red Delicious. I don't like Gold Delicious. I don't like Spartan. And I don't like Macintosh. Well, those 5 varieties are the varieties that were typically available growing up as a kid. They've done so many different things now with so many different apples. I've discovered I love apples. I just don't prefer those. So, yeah.
I think, this conversation really is highlighting the fact that you and your team can bring to a customer so much more than just a place to pop in and pick out that, bag of carrots and, get those mushrooms and get those fresh herbs or whatever it might be. That really, it's an opportunity to learn more about not only where is our food coming from, but the kinds of foods that we might want to try and enhance our daily menus with. And your team really does that, don't they?
Yeah, I encourage my team to engage with our customers, and it's not the best thing in the short term to have the following response from my team members, but I encourage them to make these kind of comments that if somebody were to ask on a specific item, hey, is this really good? The stock answer that you would say is, well, I haven't tried that item. That means I can't verify it. But if a customer asks us if we've tried something and we don't like it, we might say there's other choices that you might like more. And rather than try and sell you something that you may not enjoy yourself, we would rather have an honest answer and give you that honest answer so that next time you come in, and we have plenty of our customers are regulars and plenty of our customers that will ask us, what's good today? What have you tried today that you like? And oftentimes those customers don't even look at price. They don't look at anything. It's just they'll load them up in their bags and they're gone with those items because they've come to trust that what we have to say actually is meaningful. It's not just a stock answer saying to a stock customer and it's just run of the mill. We actually really like what we do. We really like what we're offering, and we want people to have that great experience so that they're coming back. So that's how we approach that.
Well, it shows. So just to reiterate to the Boom members that that will be seeing this, there are a number of special offers that you can find when you log into the Boom website coming from Chongo's, especially for Boom members and only for Boom members, and they really are quite outstanding. And I've been in and ordered a number of times, and I know a couple of our team members have as well, so it's great. It's so easy. You go online, you pick what you want, watch out what the measurements are.
That's great.
Pick what you want, and then you can pick it up the following day. I believe it's usually the following day, although I know that, you know, if we call,
Yeah.
sometimes you're able to accommodate something shorter term as long as it's one of your open days. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, we'll try and accommodate customer requests at all times. Absolutely.
And the experience has been really great too, in the sense that somebody brought it out to the vehicle. There was no issues with respect to safety. Everybody was managed to keep their distance. That was put right in the vehicle, and we were able to come home with our groceries and our produce and go from there. So it really was a great experience and so easy. Didn't even have to get out of my car. I love that. So encourage everybody to do that. Whether or not you're a Boom member, it is a great place to get wonderful produce. And one of the other, I just want to mention this too. I think people think, oh, I don't know, can somebody else pick my fruits and vegetables? And I'm sure, you know, you must get asked that at times too. But I found,
I do.
Yep, like what would you say to somebody who's saying, I don't know if somebody else could pick my fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, well, a couple things I would say is, number one, we're trying to sort of have an advantage by buying online, because we want to ensure that you're going to come back and use that service again. If we're giving you something subpar or subpar of what you might expect, that's not going to happen. You simply won't buy again, and that's foremost in our minds when we're picking. I always ask my team members to ask themselves, would I buy this? Do I want this? Would I desire this? That is the question they're asking themselves when they put up product at all times. So when we're picking the orders, we'll oftentimes pick, maybe if we have a little bit of expertise in this business, we might even be able to pick that perfect melon that maybe you wouldn't have picked for yourself.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. I enjoyed the tour of the store and the tips on how to pick things. I'm particularly excited about both the potatoes and the tomatoes, I have to say. And and we thank you again for your support of Boom members and the great deals that they'll find on the site. Wishing you a great day, and we'll see you very soon.